Welcome everybody to our governing board meeting. Today's Thursday, October 7th. So we have some folks from Saratoga Springs that's going to share a presentation about some recent and ongoing development of the Jordan River Water Trail.
Thank you. Let me see if I can share a screen. My name is Jeremy Lappin. I'm the Public Works Director and City Engineer for the City of Saratoga Springs. Did recently complete 2 boat ramps. And I don't know if you guys have seen those are now open to the public. There's a new boat ramp right there at the inlet at Inlet Park, and there's one at RC Park. The one on the left here, that is the new ramp at right near the mouth of the Jordan River. This is just downstream of the overflow spillway. So that's a new non-motorized launch. And then the one on the right is the one at RC Park. You can see this is just downstream of the road crossing and the pedestrian bridge where Saratoga Road crosses. This is just downstream of there on the right.
Great. Appreciate it, Jeremy and Gina. We have another presentation, Angelo and Walt from Salt Lake County Parks and Rec Division. They're going to share a presentation about the ongoing development of the Jordan River Water Trail improvements. So I will turn it over to Angelo or Walt.
Thank you again for allowing us to present. Walt won't be joining us. I'm actually filling in for him. He had a conflict and he was going to be doing this. But I will hopefully be short and sweet. I'm sure many of you know Salt Lake County, similar to Saratoga Springs, has been working on making improvements to the Jordan River to create a waterway from county line to county line. And we have been working with, of course, forestry and state lands for permission to work on the river. And we've had projects funded by the Utah Outdoor Recreation. So I'm just going to quickly go through the ones that the county is pursuing, and I'm starting at the south end of the valley and moving north. So the one project that we have that is in design, we anticipate construction starting next year, is a boat launch in Bluffdale at the Parry Farms subdivision and the Jordan River Trail, as it is about 150th south and 16th west. You can see that the picture to the left is the actual site, and then the concept drawing on the right would show us having basically a walkway coming off the existing Jordan River pathway and going down into the river for the boat launch. The actual location of this launch is right now under design with the survey work that we received. And it looks like it might be a little bit further to the west than what you see in this image, to be primarily on Bluffdale City property. And we also believe that there's enough room in that area on Bluffdale City property to also provide a small parking lot or boat drop-off. So this one's in progress, and we'll be working through the applicable permits and so forth, and hopefully we get this one under construction next year. This one here is the one that actually will be starting construction here in a few weeks. This is in Draper. It's at the Rotary Park Jordan River Trailhead, about 125th south, 11th west. The image to the left is one I recently took off of Google, but you can kind of see the overall location where there's a playground and an existing parking lot. And Draper actually extended a parking lot to the south of the playground. I don't know if you can see my cursor. They built a new parking lot right in here, primarily for the boat drop-off. And then the ramp will basically connect to the trail and then go into the river as shown on the exhibit to the right. And we'll go from there. And so this one, again, we already have the contractor on board. We have the permits in place. And this one should start work here in a few weeks. And the ones that we've built so far, these have taken about 90 days to 120 days to construct. So the other one that we have lined up to start work here as well is the one in South Jordan at the Shields Lane Trailhead along the Jordan River in South Jordan, about 100 south and 9th west. The image on the left shows you the overview of the existing parking lot, restroom, and the path from the parking lot down to the existing Jordan River Trail. And right about where that path intersects with the Jordan River Trail is where we will actually be putting the boat launch in. And so the image to the right, you can see how the boat launch is to come off the existing Jordan River Trail and go basically northwest into into the Jordan River. And again, we have the contractor on board with this one. We have the permits in place, and we'll start construction in a few weeks. So we're making some good progress out there, I think. The next one that recently finished is an actual portage around the North Jordan Canal, a dam structure in Sandy at about 10th West and 96 South, just on the west side of the River Oaks Golf Course. You can see the image to the left is actually the takeout on the upstream side, and then the image down to the bottom of the screen is actually the put-in. And this was taken slightly before we actually did the asphalt path connecting the two in put-ins. And then you can see the image in the background of how they both go into the water. Of course, and this one was partially funded by the Utah Outdoor Recreation, and so there's a sign at the takeout that indicates that they were partially responded, and this project turned out to be pretty good. Next one is its design is finished. It's in Midvale at 7800 South and the Jordan River Trail. The image to the left kind of shows you the parking lot, Trailhead parking lot, just to the south side of 7800, and the trail goes south. And there's a bridge that crosses from the east side to the west side, from Midvale into West Jordan. And then the boat launch is proposed to be just to the north of that bridge that crosses the river, and you can see that in the image to the right. We'll come off the existing Jordan River Trail and swing down into the water, avoiding some wetlands and so forth. This one is in the permitting process right now, and we'll have a contractor lined up soon, and we'll start construction in early 2022 on this one. And we're working with Midvale City because most of the land on the east side is private, so we'll be putting an easement together for the boat launch to be on private property, with Midvale City being the easement holder. The next one it's in design right now is going to be in Taylorsville. It's on the west side of the river, just north of 5300 South and 9th West. There's a park there called Millrace Park. You can see that in the image to the left, and you can see the parking lot and the playground, and then you can see a bridge that crosses the river from Taylorsville side to the Murray side. And the boat launch is going to be just north or downstream of that bridge, coming off of basically a concrete maintenance ramp that goes down to help service the pond, the fishing pond that they have there adjacent with the park. And you can see that image in the right-hand side. You can kind of see the playground. You can see that access ramp that goes into the pond, and then there'll be a walkway, and then the boat launch that'll go into the river there. And again, just north of some wetlands into the river. This one is the design is finished, and we just started the permitting process with, of course, fire, forestry, straight land, stream alteration, and so forth, and the city. So we're hoping to get this one under construction early 2022 as well. Next one is part of a couple of projects that we have going on simultaneously at the Brighton North Point Canal diversion structure. You can see that in the left-hand side on the image to the left. You can actually see the diversion structure and the drop at about 46 South and 6th West on the river. County Flood Control is actually in the process of bidding to remove that drop structure, and they will put in a weir. They'll put in two weirs to have it drop from upstream to downstream, similar to what they've done at Winchester and Murray at about 64 South. To get rid of that dam. And then we will be following right behind that project with the portage to get around the drop structure. So people can still be able to kayak or canoe through the drop structure based on its design. But we're also moving forward with putting a portage in. So if you don't want to do that, you can get out and go around. So this one here is actually the remodeling of that area, and County Flood Control is finishing their permits and will be bidding this project here, I believe, in November, and they'll start construction immediately thereafter, and their intent is to have it completed before spring of 2022. And then, like I said, we will be following right behind that, because we're both going to be accessing the Jordan River from the east side, from the Murray side. So then we will be coming in and putting in the portage, and you can see here, this image to the left shows you the dam structure looking east, where the other one was looking west, and you can see Murray City's public works yard, and we have easements with Murray City, and we'll be accessing through their public works site to get to the east side of the river for flood control to do the dam removal, and then for us to do the portage. And so then you can see to the image to the right, the one is the takeout at the upstream, and then the one to the right is the put in, and then there'll be a connecting path between the two. We'll be fencing off that area for Murray City Public Works, but the easements allow us to get in there for maintenance over the years after this is completed. And the intent here is that pathway connecting the ramps will also double as a future Jordan River Trail path on the east side of the river. That's part of the intent that we have going, so we can have pathway on both sides of the river, and this will double as the path in the future, hopefully. And this one, again, we'll be following flood controls work, and we look to start this one. We're hoping to start a little bit early, but it looks like we'll probably start in January or February on this and have it completed hopefully by spring as well. The next one is at our James Madison Park trailhead along the Jordan River. This one is where there's some existing old boat tiered structures like a ramp. There's 3 different levels. We'll be removing those and putting in an actual boat launch that will again connect to the Jordan River and make its way down into the river. This one right now is in the final design, starting the permitting, and we look to have it under construction early 22 as well. So this one's right that shares the property with the new Tracy Aviary Nature Center, which is to the right in the image to the right. Just it'll be to the east side of the ramp. And then another one is that's under feasibility right now is to put in a boat launch at about 2320 South, 10th West in West Valley City on the west side of the river. There's an existing park trailhead there that the county recently turned over to West Valley City. And that bridge that you see in the image to the left, actually that crosses from the east side to the west side for the Jordan River Trail, will be removed shortly. And a new bridge will be put in further downstream with a new connector from the Parry Trail to the Jordan River Trail. This one needs to go away because of its location inside the levees, and Army Corps is making us remove that. And so this project and the boat launch here is taking a little bit more time, but we're looking at the feasibility of putting one on the west side of the river, and you can kind of see the concept on the right, how that would come off the Jordan River Trail and go into the river and take out the existing drop structures. I call them drop platforms that have been there for years, and those ones are in violation, I guess, Army Corps engineers to be into the levee. So the design of this boat launch will have to take that into account. And then finally, I think the one is that the county worked with the city to put in, and it's in operation, is 1800 North Redwood Road, another Jordan River trailhead where we share a parking lot. And this one was finished earlier this year, and you can see people already using it, and there's some vegetation in place. So that one's complete as well. And I believe that's it. Yeah. The other things I just wanted to mention, we do have kind of in the works, we're looking at 3 other portages. One is in Midvale at what they call the Millrace Flag, which is north of 7800 South. There's a drop structure there in Midvale City. We're looking at putting a portage around that. Another one is at 39th South, putting in a portage there. It'd be a big portage where you'd get out on the south side of 39th, and then you'd have to go up and over the Jordan River Trail, walkway over the top of 39th South, and then back into the water on the north side. And the reason we're looking at that one, because when the water levels are high, you can't get underneath the 39th South bridge right there. And then the third one is looking at a portage that would be in Salt Lake City to get around the surplus canal dam structure. So you can continue on the river, but you can get around where the river is diverted into the surplus canal. We're looking to get a consultant on board to start the design, at least on possibly 2 of those 3. So that's where we're at. Any questions? I can be glad to try to answer for you. If I may, I just wanted to add that there's 2 other launches that have been completed, and they were completed by Salt Lake City. One at 2nd South near the Fisher Mansion, and then the other one at North Temple, both of them around 10th West or so, 11th West, within their jurisdiction, and they finished both of those. I guess due to their location, they not only function just as a simple boat launch, but also as a portage if you wanted to take out at 2nd and then carry your kayak or canoe up and over the trail to North Temple and put back in. But those ones have also been completed, but they were within Salt Lake City and under their guys. So thank you.
Thanks, Angelo. Yeah, that's exciting. A lot of work going on.